We look at numbers rather than the person and what they value. We should be looking through our people rather than at them, through them so that we can see what they value, their difficulties and challenges, so that we could have empathy and feel what they feel. Peter Drucker, the great author and consultant, once said that empathy is the most important leadership characteristic that we own, but so seldom use. I have an important story about empathy and connecting. In August of 1914, Sir Ernest Shackleton set off from England on this, his third expedition to Antarctica, the South Pole. For months, Shackleton and his men moved south. But this trip was different for Shackleton. He was now the leader of 27 men on his own ship, aptly named Endurance. Shackleton would beat all odds, but not as expected. Shackleton was deep into the Weddell Sea, the most difficult and desolate part of all the world, just 100 miles from his destination. Shackleton had been warned, but continued to move forward. The Endurance, his ship, was surrounded by difficult and demanding ice that began to impose its will on the Endurance. All 140 feet of it and all 350 tons of it. Eventually, the ice would win out. Shackleton ordered that his men abandon ship, and with it, all of his hopes, all of his dreams, all of the potential fame and glory that went with it. Shackleton's expedition now became a mission of survival, a higher calling for Sir Ernest Shackleton. Shackleton and his men would live on the ice near his sunken ship, waiting for the spring thaw to come. In April of the following year, he ordered that his men launch from 3 small open vessels, 3 small lifeboats, if you will, on the first leg of this mission of survival. Shackleton and his men moved through the most horrific and demanding and horrifying of seas for 7 straight days. 500 miles later, they landed on Elephant Island. Shackleton now determined that only 5 other men would continue on with him, leaving 22 men behind. For the next 17 straight days and nights, Shackleton and his men would battle the seas and land on South Georgia, where he thought help could be found. Shackleton now realized that only 2 other men were able to continue on with him, hiking, sliding, and traversing for 36 continuous hours, covering 20 miles of terrain, ending up at this whaling camp. He found help. But week after week, month after month, he went back to retrace his steps to rescue each and every man, because he told them, I will not lose one of you. Not one of you will I lose. Finally, after 4 months, Shackleton rescued each and every man and took them back to England 2.5 years later to a hero's welcome. A story of great leadership and courage, of perseverance, of teamwork, of servant leadership, of caring leadership and love. If we can embrace just a bit of what Shackleton had here in this room today, you'll see greater success than you ever imagined. I want to talk to you today about stepping up to be a great coach rather than a cop. I want to talk to you about building great relationships with your people so they want to do the right thing even when you're not around. And as I close today, I'll talk to you about clarifying the personal importance of working safely. So people realize, so workers realize what's in it for them.